Hi, today I'm going to explain an action and comedy film from 2004, Kung Fu Hustle. Let's get this party started. The plot begins with a gang of mobsters violently attacking a police officer who had arrested his wife before fleeing. With his arrogance, he intimidates everyone. When they step out into the street, they notice that there is no one else around. A massive gang approaches them from all sides. One of them attempts to summon reinforcements, but the gang leader informs him that all of his men have joined him. After that, he takes their lives, including the woman he was going to let live. The Axe Gang, a powerful mob who commands everyone's respect, rules the city. The people of a shantytown work hard to make ends meet, and the owner of much of the rent in the area walks around greeting merchants and neighbors. At the time, a young man who enjoys flaunting his ass is taking a bath until he runs out of water. As a result, he begins to complain to the rent owner, and she angrily goes down to scold all the workers, demanding rent payment. Then she discovers her mischievous husband peeping in the women's restroom and beats him mercilessly. A group of kids is playing soccer when two Axis members arrive and ruin their game. They go to the barber shop of the young man with a bare buttock and request a haircut from him. The boy does an excellent job, but they blackmail him by claiming that a mobster can't look that good because he wouldn't scare anyone. The young man, however, is not only brave enough to walk around with his butt in the air, but he is also brave enough not to be afraid of the strange mobsters. The gangster departs and begins to challenge all the townspeople to a fight, only to discover that every villager he wishes to fight is far more intimidating than they appear. When the most intimidating woman in the place arrives and beats him up, he throws a rocket to summon reinforcements. His plan fails when the real Axes pass by, and the rocket he threw explodes in the hand of one of them. The gangsters storm in and begin terrorizing everyone. But just as they were about to kill the young man with their bare asses, something unexpected happens, and the gang member appears lying in the trash. Reinforcements arrive and threaten to set fire to them all. However, the coolie arrives and confronts the gangsters. The tailor and the cook also join the fight, beating up the mobsters and driving them out of town. The mobsters then kidnap Singh and his partner Bowen, posing as gang members. They only spare his life because of Singh's ability to pick locks after escaping the clutches of the Axe Gang alive. They would be mobsters look for a way to join the gang. Singh then tells them that as a child, he learned martial arts and tried to use them for good, but was beaten up when he tried to help a mute girl. At that point, they dash to an ice cream cart to purchase ice cream, but they flee without paying and taunt the girl as they board the bus. Back at the pigsty, the apartment's owner chastises the city's kung fu masters, telling them that they should make money from their abilities. All of the villagers are furious at the local landlady, but she puts them in their place with a shout. The would-be criminals attempt to murder the landlady in order to gain acceptance into the gang, but their lack of skill results in Singh having 3 knives stuck in him and a mountain of snakes on top of him. The landlady notices the forgers and pursues them at full speed, literally. However, the duo manages to avoid cinch heels as wounds by growing his muscles, so he takes out all the knives that had become lodged in him. Meanwhile, the villagers ask Buddha if the kung fu hero should leave town, and they are told that they will both meet a terrible fate. The gangsters hire 2 ruthless assassins who murder with a strange instrument while the tailor closes the shop. One of the assassins enters and attempts to kill him, but the warrior defends himself, and they begin an epic battle that lasts outside the store. The other assassin begins to launch attacks with the instrument, which the tailor successfully avoids. While this is going on, the gang's leader is watching everything from his car. When the assassins were about to defeat the warrior, the cook arrives and joins the fight despite the fact that he appeared to be winning. The assassins defeated them and left them on the verge of death. The patrons save the lives of the eccentric warriors and demonstrate their incredible powers by defeating the assassins at that moment. The bosses enter the gangsters' car and threaten their leader, causing the gangsters to wet their pants and flee. The villagers are taken aback by the strange couple's power and elevate them to the status of heroes, asking them to train them. To avoid becoming a failure, the useless duo decides to rob the girl and the ice cream cart. Singh threatens her with a knife and becomes desperate when she does not respond. But just as they were about to steal his money, She tells him that she is the girl he helped when they were kids. Singh considers this, but still robs her and then fires his partner, leaving him alone. At that point, gang members kidnap him. Singh is led to a nightclub, where he is cheerfully greeted and told by the leader that he can join the mafia if he completes a dangerous mission. The mobsters transport Singh to a maximum security prison, where he must rescue the world's best assassin. The man is in the last cell of the prison, and his rescue is nearly impossible. However, Singh infiltrates and uses his luck-picking skills to free the prisoner. The gang offers the assassin a large sum of money if he can defeat the bosses. However, the man responds that he is not interested in money and is only looking for a worthy opponent. They persuade him that the opponents he must face are formidable, so the assassin accepts the leader's concerns about the man's abilities and asks Singh to put him to the test. The protagonist attempts to beat him, but he immediately flees. That's why another gang member attempts it, but the gangster always hits him. In a mocking tone, the assassin laughed. When the gangster becomes frustrated, he pulls out his gun to intimidate him. The killer, however, steals it and surprises everyone by shooting himself in the head. His reflexes are faster than the bullet, and he manages to catch it between his fingers. The leader acknowledges the man and walks over to take his bow. Surprisingly, the assassin rises and, with a kick, breaks the walls of the casino where he finds the patrons. He informs them that he is not a member of the gang and that his sole intention is to battle the legendary Kung Fu masters. The talented warriors fight valiantly, but the assassin consistently outmatches them. The couple manages to use the bell that was in place to use the powerful lion's roar after several attempts to harm the man, and after receiving an incredible beating. This method destroys the entire location while also defeating the killer. He accepts his defeat. As a result, the couple decides to spare his life. But right then and there, he betrays them and attempts to murder them. They were able to immobilize the assassin, but it took all of their strength. The gang's leader attempts but fails to assassinate them. So he calls Singh and puts him under duress. He pretends to do it, but instead he hits his boss and then tries to finish the assassin. But the latter becomes enraged and flees the marriage, brutally attacking Singh. Singh is rescued by the bosses, and the killer kills the gang leader in one blow. Singh is returned to the pigsty by the Kung Fu master, who chastises him for making such a risky decision. He draws a paddle with his blood to send a message to the masters, but they don't understand. Both at the same time, the mute girl attempts to rebuild the pallet Singh destroyed when he stole it from her, and Bone notices the spot where his friend had healed his wound. Back in the pigsty, the masters attempt to heal Singh's horrific wounds, but they quickly realize that he regenerates much faster than anyone else. As a result, the boss realizes that the killer targeted a specific location in order to unleash the protagonist's full power. The mobsters arrive on the scene looking for Singh and the teachers, but they are surprised to see that Singh's wounds have healed completely. The gangsters immediately launch an attack to assassinate him. Singh easily defeats the first group by avoiding all of their attacks. The gang members appear to be endless and never get tired of beating up on the protagonist. All of this is observed by the assassin, who is taken aback by Singh's newfound power after defeating 10 groups of gang members. The protagonist goes in search of the assassin in order to confront him. He defeats another group of gang members before finally confronting the killer. Singh is the first to attack, kicking the assassin into the air and then connecting a series of kicks until he falls to the ground. The protagonist is far superior and appears to easily defeat him, but the assassin takes a new stance. The legendary Toad is still standing. The assassin is able to even the fight thanks to this attack. Singh, on the other hand, gets back up and unleashes his ultimate attack, the palm of a Buddhist. He is on the verge of killing the assassin. As a result, he accepts defeat and surrenders. He did the same thing with the masters. The assassin attempts to kill the protagonist while he is distracted, but the latter demonstrates to him that he is now too strong and finally admits that he cannot cope with him. Singh spares his life and agrees to accept him as a martial arts disciple. Finally, the ice cream girl was walking around town until she came across a candy store where Bone worked. Singh's attractive friend keeps noticing her, so the protagonist appears, surprised to see his great love. He walks out, and they both see each other as if they were children again. The conclusion. Thank you for taking the time to watch. To receive new videos like this, please subscribe and click the bell icon.